A bigot guns down a black lesbian in front of her girlfriend. All right, put up the picture full mask. Okay, sad story. This was in Texas. 23-year-old Jacob Stanford has now been charged with 1 count of murder in the brutal slaying of a 24-year-old Akira Ross. He allegedly shouted anti-gay slurs before shooting and killing the woman in front of her girlfriend. There's more. According to a probate cause affidavit, officers with the Cedar Park Police Department at about 10 p.m. on June 2nd, 2023, responded to a call regarding a reported shooting at the Circle K convenience store. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders say they observed a black Nissan sedan at one of the pumps. Next to the car, they found Ross, who was lying on the back in a pool of dark red blood. Williamson County Emergency Medical Services arrived a short while after, and at 10:05 p.m. pronounced her dead. Surveillance camera footage showed a newer model Chevy Malibu, allegedly driven by Stanford, into the gas station at 9:42 p.m. It also parked around that time. Stanford entered the store, came out less than 2 minutes later. Police say he can be seen returning to his car, grabbing something from the inside, tucking it into his waistband of his shorts. Ross's girlfriend told the police that when Ross walked into the store, she said that Stanford was waving his gun around in the parking lot. That's when the girlfriend got the text telling the cashier to call the police. Ross then exited the store, had another exchange with Stanford. Stanford walked over to Ross and was standing at the front of the car. Stanford then acted like he was going to walk back to his vehicle, but instead walked to the rear of Ross's vehicle, the affidavit says. The witness heard Stanford yell a slur against the LGBTQ community and then fired 3 rounds. The male then ran towards his car, drove away. It's called hate, bigotry, and radicalization. Now, we don't have all of the motive information. We have what has been presented by way of eyewitnesses and surveillance. Obviously, there's bigotry. Obviously, there is hate. And perhaps there's even a level of radicalization that has happened in the atmosphere of this country. Remember, cause and effect still exist in America. If Donald Trump would not have told his followers to go to the Capitol, you do not get a massive terrorist attack on January 6th. You may still have some expressions of terrorism happening on behalf of Donald Trump, but if Trump never said, go do this thing now, it doesn't happen the exact same way. That is not to discount the reality of their responsibility for doing the deed, but it is to highlight the very real connection between act and actor. So here we have a very sad story of a person who's dead, who simply was going to the store to get gas. That's it. Now they're dead. Hate ruling the nation, while legislation is being passed by people like DeSantis and others, compounding the hate, neglecting the rights of everyday people because they may not agree with the personal choice. I thought this was the land of the free. All right, Max, thoughts?
Well, what's so staggering about this, and what I think is so important in what you said, is that this isn't some random act. This is a culture of violence. Anti-gay, anti-trans attacks have grown every year over the past few years. And that's not just by chance. It's when Ron DeSantis criminalizes being openly gay. It's when you see MAGA pastors saying that their congregations should follow in the footsteps of Islamic suicide bombers to stop gay communities from taking over our country. It's when they target stores and places of worship during Pride Month for attacks, for driving vehicles into buildings in some cases. They are being told by the right with no pushback that these are not human beings, that they are a problem, that they should be eradicated, as the Daily Wire said. And people like this will pick up a gun and gladly do that.
Well said, dear brother. Sad reality. Well said.